What I did, though, is I gave them a diet that was mostly raw. It was uncooked so that the protein wasn't damaged by heat. I put them on a diet that was very easy to digest. And then I put them on a diet that very few people have allergic reactions to. And finally, I had them supplement with cayenne pepper, the hot red pepper. And they would just put 1/4 of a teaspoon of that pepper into water, stir it up, and drink that down 15 minutes before they would eat. And 100% of these people got all the way better and very quickly. A couple of weeks and they were doing fine. Now, the diet basics that I put them on were, I would have them have just fruit in the morning. They could have as much as they want, but it needed to be ripe, raw fruit. In the event of somebody who was working really hard and the fruit just wouldn't do it, I allowed them to have, instead of fruit, not in addition to, but instead of fruit, they could have some kind of grain, like wheat or rye or millet, that had been sprouted. And they would make a sprouted grain cereal that they then took through a low heating process so that it didn't kill it completely. And I had them then just put a little honey and olive oil on that and stir it up and eat it. And that would be their breakfast only if they were going to work very hard, very physically all day long. Then for lunch, they had a more complicated meal. It would be centered around a salad, but that salad might include nuts, dried fruit, beans, avocados, tomatoes. So it was a very robust salad. Lots and lots of protein-containing foods in that robust salad. And then for dinner, they could either have just fruit again, they could have a raw salad, or if they were really hungry when it came to dinner time, they could have a raw salad with some kind of a starch, like a sweet potato. If it were here in Vilcabamba, they would be able to have the plantain bananas, and they could also have regular potatoes, but some kind of a starch with their salad if they were really hungry. And that was it. That was the program I put them on, and they would get better right away.
Cal, one question. The hot pepper, a quarter teaspoon in water, and what is the true purpose? I didn't understand the true purpose of that. I had the impression that hot pepper irritates the intestines. You tell me, what's the real purpose of that?
Thank you for that question. Yeah, there was a study done, maybe 50 years ago now, where they were trying to decide the impact of different herbs that were called carminative. In other words, in some way they affected or promoted digestion. And one of the herbs they studied was cayenne. They found out just by smelling cayenne pepper in water that digestion secretions went up 30%. And that by drinking it, within 5 to 10 minutes, digestive secretions went up 300%. So we're talking a huge increase of digestion. Now your question was about irritation. Irritation is kind of a bad word in today's society. Nobody wants to be irritated. Nobody wants to consume anything that's irritating. But in fact, there are a lot of herbs.
It doesn't feel good.
It doesn't feel good. But in fact, there are a lot of natural herbs that are a little bit irritating, but in a way that your body seems to know how to use for good. And cayenne is one of them. Yes, it's a little bit irritating, and yet we find out that cayenne does not create problems when it's consumed over the long term of any kind. We find out that irritation improves digestive secretion. It improves blood flow to your brain, to your hands and feet, and to all of your digestive organs. We found out that it breaks up mucus in your system so that it gets thinner and it's easier to bring that mucus out, and so it's good for people who are sick. And we basically found that it's in every way beneficial and in no way harmful. We do call that, even in the herbal community, we do call those substances irritants, but we mean it in a way that is very positive. It's just not people are not accustomed to thinking that it's positive. And with cayenne, of course, everybody has probably had the experience of putting straight cayenne in their mouth one time and, that burns, or if you take a lot of cayenne internally, it opens in your stomach and all of a sudden your stomach burns, and that's pretty irritating. And certainly you've got to get used to using even 1/4 of a teaspoon of cayenne. And sometimes I have people work up from just a pinch, and they'll work gradually up until they're getting the whole 1/4 of a teaspoon.
Is cayenne the hot pepper or something else?
Cayenne is a hot pepper, and
Red and yellow.
it's usually red. True cayennes are red, and all hot peppers do behave similarly. But
Cal,
for
is that the stuff that they you sell in a pizza shop, or something different?
a crushed red pepper is usually cayenne. Yeah, the crushed red pepper from a pizza shop is usually cayenne. And cayenne is the best for certain things. It's the best for your heart. It's the best for your overall circulation. It's the best for digestion. Every pepper does similar things. Some peppers are better for other things.
Cal, listen, I want to thank you for sharing, as they say, thank you for sharing that with me, with us. You've shared a lot. We're going to have to break now for until the next program that we'll be doing probably via internet with you for Vilcabamba TV, or what is it? No, I'm sorry. This is Today in Vilcabamba. There's another, our friends are VilcabambaTV.com. My name is Carlos Fabara, and my guest has been Kal. I still don't get the name, the last name.
Sellers.
Sellers, like when you sell something, like Peter Sellers.
That's right.
Okay.
All right.